Welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about Diablo-like dungeon generator. In this video we're going to build up the logic to spawn the forced three ways, and this is going to be probably the last video about forced tile, hopefully, if we have no bugs. So I thought about it a bit, and I think what we want to do is to duplicate the function that creates corridors, because three ways are actually corridors with an extra tile in the middle of them. So I think we just want to duplicate that for now, and we want to say create forced three-way. This is the name of the new function. So what does it do? So it is asking for a north-south. It's asking a north-south question, and I think this is right, because if we open up our tech design, I think we can only have. I think it's behaving like a corridor north and south. So if I'm duplicating this, a three-way is basically either that or this with an extra tile either on the west and the east, and on the other, if it's a east-west three-way, we are going to try to find the location top and south, and east and west in the case of a north-south three-way. So we need to ask that. So we actually do need this. And then what do we want to do? We actually need the directions. If I'm going where we are calling the corridor function, we just want to add our little function we just created in there, create three ways, and this is actually going to ask for direction in direction, and we just want to connect the direction we passed to the force tile function to that, and we want to connect that to the create three-way. And we also want to add the return node to it, like this, and the location is the current location. So we're basically going to ask, is this north or south? And then we're going to ask, do we need to connect east or west or north or south? So let's break these directions. Let's say we want to find, is the south connected? If the south is connected, that means we are trying to find we are removing the east and the west checks from this array. So we are going to go to that direction in these directions, and this function is going to try to find two tiles aligned towards the direction we are leaving in this array. So we actually want to also ask in there, we are saying check for corridor room, and we also need to say if it does have room for a corridor. We also need to ask, does it have room for an extra tile on the side? So how do we ask that actually? And we need to ask that about the force tile. So if we get the tiles around, get the location around, and we need to find the direction either west. I need to find the direction we ignored on the previous checks. So how do we do that? We actually say we duplicate the directions to check to direction of three-way, and we are also going to duplicate it once more. This is going to be north and south, and this is going to be east and west. We are going to delete north and south from there, and east and west from that array. Then we're going to delete all entries in the previous arrays we created. We're going to delete all of that. And then we're going to say that if we are trying to create a corridor that is from north to south, we're going to say that the direction of our three-way, so we are actually going to set our directions. We're actually just going to set these both in both cases. In one cases, this is going to be the north, so the directions to check in. So if we are a south-north corridor, we're looking for a north-south directions to check, and east-west directions of three-way. I'm going to reverse the sets just because it makes more sense for me that way. I'm going to duplicate that. So if I'm there, I actually want an east-west array and the north-south array in here. So we are looping through the directions to check. And then, so three ways can actually be, we don't want an array in here. We actually want a simple, not an array, we want a simple variable. And we want that like this. And we want to say is the three-way we are passing through as the connection to the east. If so, in that case we want the north, for instance, I mean whatever the south. So we know for sure, no, this is not what I want. So we know for sure it doesn't have a connection to the south. Oh, yeah, this check does not work. Because it might have a connection to the south and tells us to search for a north-south three-way, except we were trying to build a three-way like this. So this is not working. So we need to ask, is this... I cannot duplicate that. I need to ask it twice. So is this north and south? Is north and south connected? Opened in the three-way we are trying to place. If so, it compiled and we have errors. That's normal. So if the north and the south are connected, this means we're dealing with a three-way like this. If not, we're dealing with a three-way like this. So in here, we want to say we know you are going from east to west. And is your south connected? If so, the direction of your three-way is south. If not, it's north. And the other way around for north and south three-way. So I want to do this. I want to put it there. I want to say, oh wait, yeah, I cannot duplicate that. Once again, I need to find, or else it's not giving me the drop-down menu. So are you connected to the east? If so, we're going to look for an eastern connection. If not, we're going to look for a western connection, like that. Hit compile, it's compiling, and we want to look for get the location around the force tile, the location of the force tile we found. And if the location around is not used, we're going to say this is the proper location. We are actually going to set that first, and we're then going to check if the force tile location we found actually has a free space towards the direction of our three-way. If so, we found room and we're going to break. If not, we're going to continue looping through the directions to check. Like that. And what do we actually want to do now? We actually want to spawn, we want to store that location. We want to store that location. This is going to be our extra tile lock. This is going to be it, and then we're going to ask is the extra tile location is not used. If not, we found room, and we want to create a generic tile at the location of our extra tile lock. Yep, at that location, and it's going to be connected to the forced tile like that. And then what do we want to do? I want to check something in the four-way function. I think we were actually consuming the tile spawned, so that's what we're going to do in our create four ways function as well. Yep, like this, but we don't want to consume 3 tiles but 2. And then we also want to do this in our corner function, I believe. I don't know why I didn't do that before. So maybe I just need to add that to our add style to layout function, and it's going to be where it's going to be smarter. So we're just going to get rid of these. We're going to find the references to our tile spawn function, and we're going to check wherever we are incrementing them. So we are in our create forced way function. We don't want that. We want to delete that. We want to close all other tabs for now. And we're actually resetting that amount in here. That's fine. That's what we want to do. But we now want to add, when we add a tile to our layout, we're just going to increase the number of tiles spawned, and it's going to be smarter than what we were doing, except in the case of it might not be a good idea. We want to ask, is this tile a core tile? A core tile is actually either a generic or an additional, and I don't want that. I want to ask if the tile type is equal of generic to a generic tile, or what do we want to, or a force tile like this. If so, we want to actually increase the amount of tiles spawned like that. We're going to hit compile, save. We're just going to hit play to make sure nothing broke. So we still have our corner. We're going to try to spawn a 3-way now. So if we say we need a north, we need a 3-way like this. What is it going to do? It's going to create a 3-way, but it actually, why did we got? So I need to make sure I do not have any corridors to end tile, because that seemed like a node. We had a bug in our dungeon. It felt like we had a bug in our dungeon because of the corridor, maybe, or because of the 3-way. I'm not sure. It felt like we had, oh yeah, but we had only one minimum amount steps to start tile. We had only one. That's why maybe it allowed the end tile to be spawned to such a close location. Okay, so our bug report is working, and our 3-way seems to be working. I want to decrease the error margin, and I want to say I want that in the middle of the dungeon, and I want that to be in another sense, in other directions. So it's always spawning it at the first tile, and I wonder why. So if I'm saying I have an error margin of 10, so I think that's a previous bug that were haunting us. Okay, so no, it seems to be working. So it's always spawning a three-way in there. So if I say I actually want 20 tiles and I actually want new stuff in there, I want a forced corridor, I want a forced corner, and I want a four-way. So we're not going to do forced dead ends, I think, because it's just going to be... actually, maybe we are. I'm not sure. I'm going to think about it for the next video. But for now, we're just going to hit play. So we have a corridor, a four-way, and we have all sorts of things. And it's looking quite well. So I think it's going to wrap up that video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!